All right. Hello, folks, and hey, Bear. We're back. I'm Dusty Slay. Welcome to the Nateland podcast. I'm Dusty Slay. This is Brian Bates.
All right.
This is Aaron Weber.
And I'm Dusty Slay.
Nate will be joining us soon.
Yep.
And I'm Dusty Slay. And this is the Nateland podcast.
We're excited to be here.
That sounds fun. I like a jumbled intro.
I used to always do those guys on ESPN. I used to love the way they signed out when they did little segments. You know, I'm Jeremy Schatt.
Oh, yeah.
ESPN.
I like those.
Love that.
Promos.
Yeah.
Back when ESPN was good.
Do you watch any ESPN shows now besides SportsCenter?
I will occasionally put on SportsCenter after a big game or something if I want to just hear them talk about it or see the highlights, but not like I used to.
ESPN, I used to listen to ESPN radio on Sirius XM all day.
Mike and Mike.
When I sold pesticides, it was Mike and Mike in the morning, Colin Cowherd, then Scott Van Pelt, then I'm blanking on the last guy. But if I was working a long shift, I could hit all of those throughout the day, and it was great.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember in college, I mean, the ESPN logo was burned in on our TV.
Yeah.
Because we would just leave it on ESPN all day. And I don't think kids are doing that anymore. I don't think people
I mean, when I was a kid, you could get SportsCenter. It'd be just highlights. I mean, they would just play SportsCenter after SportsCenter after SportsCenter.
And I think a lot of it is, I remember I used to wait for the top 10. The top 10 was so cool. Now I see every play on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it compiled in a list.
I guess that's true. I still watch Pardon the Interruption.
PTI is great.
I record it. It's just a nice 30-minute quick summary of stuff that, I know about.
Yeah.
And those guys are my age, so it works out great.
All right. Well, this is going to be a hot episode, and let's talk about some places that we've been this week, though. Everybody had exciting weekends.
Yeah, I was in Florida. Thursday, I was at Laugh Out Lounge in Winter Haven, Florida.
You flew down there, though. Right?
Yeah. This is easier to drive. I know I embraced it, but it's getting a little old.
Yeah, but you do need to know, Brian does have real shows all over the country, and sometimes he has to fly.
We're all professional working
You took it
comedians.
to another level, Aaron.
What do you mean?
I mean, I thought they thought I had real shows that I just had to drive to. And now you're saying just to make sure he does have real shows.
Oh, well, that's the last time I try to back you up.
Brian hates compliments.
No one was out there was saying I didn't have real shows.
I know.
But I do.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah. And it was a great time, Laugh Out Lounge. A lot of folks came out.
I like the idea Laugh Out Lounge because Laugh Out Loud says, hey, I'm laughing, and you can hear it because it's out loud. Laugh Out Lounge, it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, no one knows. What's a lounge?
Yeah.
You go laugh.
Yeah.
San Antonio, the club is Laugh Out Loud.
Yeah, Laugh Out Loud.
And ha 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 ha.
Right, exactly.
That kind of stuff. Laugh Out Lounge is going to be a little more laid back, a little casual. It's just a play.
You laugh out, but not loud.
No. Yeah, don't laugh in.
And then Friday, I stayed in Winter Haven, did a Valentine's banquet at Heartland Church.
Okay.
It was a great time. About 400 people there.
Wow.
Nice little turnout.
All right.
And then Saturday, I drove over to Cocoa, Florida, and did
not Cocoa Beach.
I actually went to Cocoa Beach after the show.
Okay.
But did the show in Cocoa.
Just outside of Orlando, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And did a laugh all night from 6 to 7 p.m. And at Lineage Church, a lot of folks came out. Our friend Christy Johnson came to the show.
Yeah.
And we mention her almost every week now.
I know.
But she and her friends were in town for the Daytona 500, and they came to my show.
That's
all right.
Awesome, man.
So
that's awesome.
It was a great time. The weather was so nice in Florida.
Yeah.
Had a great time.
That's awesome.
Good deal, man.
Yeah.
I was in Bloomington, Indiana. The weather was not beautiful. It was cold, snowy. We almost got snowed in the last day. Woke up, there's about 6 inches of snow.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't measure it, but it felt like a lot of snow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot to get out of there. But
did you drive?
I did drive. Yeah. 4 shows at the Comedy Attic. What a club. It's one of those clubs you hear about when you start. Comics will talk about how good it is. And I just never have gotten to work it. But did 4 shows there. One of them sold out. The other 3 were packed. and they were just great shows. Jay Flake was with me. Madelano Martin did the shows. A guy named Ethan did the shows Saturday. You know,
it's a good club. I did that club during COVID. You remember COVID?
I do remember COVID.
Vaguely.
I did that club that time, during that time.
Yeah.
It was fun, though. I had a good time.
Well, it was one of those, just a good weekend. You know, you're waiting on the bad show, and then the bad show never comes, and that's a good feeling. Usually it's like, if you have a hot show, I go, the late show is going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Just law of averages. But they were all good. So you know that feeling when you get the check at the end of the weekend, it's a little bit higher than you thought it might be, and you're like,
no.
Oh.
I know the opposite.
It was just a good feel. Well, I just tell myself I'm getting the guarantee, and then anything else is a fun surprise. Yeah. So I was like, so I go, let's celebrate. So me and Jay went. It's like 12:30 at night, 1 a.m. We go to an IHOP in Bloomington.
All right.
That's how I ball out these days.
Yeah. Big time.
And I got, Jay, get whatever you want.
Boom. What do you get?
Get the sampler, get whatever. So we have a good meal there. It's fine, whatever.
But he likes the flaky pancakes.
I bet he does.
That's where he gets the name.
That's where he gets the name. Yeah. That's how names work.
Yeah.
So I stepped outside for a second to make a phone call. Step outside. It's 12:30, almost 1 in the morning. All of a sudden, in the parking lot, jacked up pickup truck comes peeling in front of me to where I like step back a little bit. I'm afraid it's going to hop the curb.
And they were like, I want my jacket.
And then it goes back the other way. It's very funny, Dusty.
Sorry.
It starts doing a donut in the parking lot, hops a curb, peels back around, tires squealing. It comes up, and then it backs into a parking. I mean, crazy scene. It backs into the parking spot, and I see the back of the truck is like, this guy had just been in a wreck. The whole back of his truck is messed up.
Jeez.
So I'm like, this guy's drunk. He's causing a scene. That's crazy. So I walk back into IHOP. All the staff is in front of the window watching this. And they go, did you see what happened? I go, yeah, the guy's doing donuts in the parking lot. I go, is that like do y'all know him? And they go, yeah. So I'm thinking, my first thought is this is the boyfriend or the husband of somebody that works there and is like being creepy and weird and sitting outside the IHOP. They go, no, he just started working here. He's one of our cooks. And I go, oh, real employee of the month, huh? And they go, we've been trying to get him fired for a while.
Oh,
and we can't. And it said the first day he lifted up his shirt and showed the whole staff a tattoo on his chest that made everybody very uncomfortable.
What was it?
It was a historical symbol from Europe.
Oh,
and creeped everybody out. Evidently not grounds for termination.
Wow.
But they want this guy gone. So he's not working that night. He shows up drunk, doing donuts in the parking lot. And now he's just sitting in his truck right outside the IHOP. So the whole staff is just waiting there for this guy to like come in and cause a scene.
Yeah.
So Jay and I are right there, like we're ready to leave.
Yeah.
So we go, let's just get out of here. I don't want anything to do with this, right? So we start walking out. The guy gets out of his car, starts walking in a huff to the front door. So now I'm like, all right, we're in this now. So Jay and I are just standing. We're all just kind of standing there right by the door. He comes up. And then you ever see a drunk guy do that where they snap out of it? He like grabbed the door. He goes, after you, gentlemen. So we were like, all right. Yeah, we got out of there, dude. But he ran in, caused a scene. They gave him a cup of coffee just to get him to leave. And then he ran out. But anyway, the manager at one point talked to me and was like, can you please tell me what happened? And they go, and I told them, and they go, that's all we needed to hear. That's what we've been waiting on.
So you didn't leave immediately?
Well, I talked to the manager
he's
between.
Not a listener of the podcast.
I thought you were going to say he was wearing a "We're having a good time" hat. Because everything leading up, I'm like,
he was at Dusty show at Indianapolis last week. Yeah. But no, it was just crazy. I mean, that's the kind of stuff people make fun of Waffle House for. But like IHOP, there are a million things going on.
So it's virtually impossible to get fired from IHOP, is what you're saying.
Sounds like it, but it sounds like that was the
IHOP sounds like a nightmare.
It's like there was probably like a 18-year-old girl shadowing our server and you want to be like, just get out now.
Yeah.
You don't need this, dude.
Yeah.
But the food was good, and everybody else was nice. It was just that one lunatic that works in the kitchen.
But he seemed nice in the end, though.
Yeah,
I mean, other than his tattoos, but he was like, gentlemen, after you. I mean, that sounds nice.
I mean, a European tattoo, they're international. So,
yeah.
That's right. You know what I'm talking about.
He'd obviously been in a car accident.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
he had been in a car accident. I think it was probably his fault based on his behavior.
It seemed like he got rear-ended.
Yeah. Does he's on his side?
No, this guy was a lunatic.
Sounds like a nightmare.
This guy was a lunatic. Yeah. And anyway, it was just a funny, kind of exciting way to cap off a fun weekend in Bloomington. So we got to see the Comedy Attic all week, and then we got to see real Indiana there at the end. You know?
Yeah, Bloomington's wild. It masquerades as a college town, but it's a wild city.
Masquerades. Where were you?
I was in California. I had 2 shows. Fresno, California. Very fun. And then Sacramento, California. Very fun. Fresno, I flew in a day early, so I spent an extra day in Fresno, and I enjoyed it. I stayed in what's called Clovis, California. Very nice California town. And Connor Larson went with me.
Oh, nice.
It was very fun. We just drank coffee at a place called Cup of Joy, real Christian coffee spot.
Yeah.
Had 2 locations that we went to, one in Fresno, one in Clovis. And went to a thrift store, bought some stuff. It's really great. The stools.
Do they put too much coffee in every coffee cup? So every cup overflows? Sorry.
I don't get it. Yeah. Oh, joy, overflowing with joy. Too much caffeine in there. I'll tell you
my
that.
cup overfloweth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great though. Very religious spot right there in the. It's like for some reason
right in the middle of the belly of the beast.
You just think about California, and it really is just like it's just a few cities. The rest of California is a very like, just regular people over there, just having a good time and enjoying themselves. And I liked it. And I asked them. Because when I was growing up in the 90s, we used to eat at Hardee's all the time. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a Fresno burger that they used to have at Hardee's. Which was a burger with sourdough bread.
Oh.
And I asked them at the show.
I remember that. I don't know why I was acting like I did.
I asked them, did they know about the Fresno burger? And they said no. And I said, did you guys know that in Alabama, that's what we were eating? And I said, I got out here and I was looking for a Fresno burger.
Well, out there, it's Carl Jr.'s, right?
Yeah, but... nobody seems to know about it. So I was like, I said, I didn't even know that we were doing that. They didn't even know that we were eating those burgers.
Yeah. Well, maybe out there they were eating the Opelika sandwich or something.
I mean, that'd be amazing, but I don't think so. Yeah.
So what makes it a Fresno sandwich?
I think it was just the sourdough bread. Yeah.
Are they known for sourdough bread in Fresno?
Maybe San Francisco is, and it's close enough, I think. I don't know.
You don't want to eat a San Francisco burger.
Yeah. But, and then they had a stool on the stage, which was a little concave. So my water bottles had to hug each other really to stay afloat.
Concave, like a fat guy sat in it?
Yeah. So I told everybody that.
You ever been to Fresno?
I'm going to tell.
I'm not doing theaters.
I told them that I'm going to say that that's the Fresno stool. That's what they, anytime I go, yeah, you see this stool here?
Yeah.
In Fresno, they make them like this.
Oh, that's fun.
A little dip in it.
Yeah.
In case you like sitting in the stool and pee your pants a little bit, it'll keep it in the stool.
That's what happens if you eat too many Fresno burgers.
Yeah.
Your stool will look like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so
fun.
It was great, though. And Sacramento was really great, too. I loved it. I stopped in Modesto, stopped at a place called The Sandwich Shop. Had a Reuben there.
Not good.
Loved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The airport's Fat in Fresno. Did you fly into Fat?
I did fly into Fat.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Fat was cool. They had a lot of redwood models of redwood set up in the airport. Mm-hmm. So I was walking through.
That's the town? Or the airport's called
Fat? The airport's called Fat. That's the 3-letter abbreviation for the Fresno whatever
something.
Airport. Yeah, Fat. But I think if you go to Yosemite, that's the one that a lot of people fly into. So there's a lot of outdoor stuff there. That's awesome, man.
It was great. I loved it.
That's great.
I had a lot of fun. I love going to new places that I've never been to.
Yeah.
Sacramento seems like there's a bit of both seem like there's a bit of a homeless situation going on, but doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was near Cape Canaveral, and
I did make the joke. Sorry. The shows weren't sold out. And I made the joke. I go, I guess people thought the show was sold out. I drove by here earlier and people were camping out front.
Oh,
that's pretty funny.
It's a good joke.
Yeah.
It went well.
All right. We want to get in these comments?
There are so many other cities you could use that joke. you know?
Almost everyone.
Yeah.
Because in Sacramento, there was a bit of a situation in the alley. Like, I don't know, there was like a wheelchair and an old bed was laying out there and blocked the road.
So picked up both.
So I couldn't get through it. Well,
truck.
if I had my truck, I would have. And who could not use an extra wheelchair?
Yeah.
And,
or an old bed.
Yeah. And the guy goes, "Oh, good first impression of Sacramento, huh?" And I go, "Listen, every city's like this now. Okay. Don't even let it bother you."
Well, you got a new joke now. You just got to never sell out shows, and you can always use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love what people do. Like a very routine thing happens in the city. I was like, "Oh, it's cold this morning. Now it's warm." Welcome to Omaha.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
That is a saying that people say in every city in the country. They go, "We call it, Omaha winters. You blink and it'll."
Well, they'll say
something like that, right?
Like only in Nashville.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that happens everywhere.
That's classic Nashville. It's going to be a different temperature, different time of the day.
Yeah.
That's how we do it down here.
Yeah.
What is the expression though? They go,
if you don't like Nashville weather, wait an hour.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah, exactly. If you don't like the weather, wait an hour. It'll change.
Yeah, that's how
That's what everybody thinks.
It's more than just weather. Even I don't
traffic.
know.
Everybody thinks traffic.
Any crazy thing in the news. Well, homelessness. Like, yep, that's everywhere.
Connor was telling me about this guy he did a show with in a city, and he said he picked that guy up at the airport and took him to the show, and he said there was no issues whatsoever on the highway. And the guy gets on stage and he just goes, "The traffic here."
That's so funny. But the thing is, they bought into it.
They loved it.
They're like, "Yep, that's right."
This guy's crushing. He knows us.
Yeah.
You write that today? Gosh.
We did one of John Chris shows. Every comic had a different bit about how we got into. So it was like the first guy was like, "Yeah, we drove in today." And next guy was like, "Man, we flew into your airport." And then it was like, "There's a tour bus there." Like, we're all liars.
Oh, yeah.
We all lie. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is Aaron Weber speaking. I've tried a lot of different protein products over the years. Anybody who knows me knows that. I've never been a fan of how they tasted until I found Orgain. This podcast is proud to be sponsored by Orgain. They believe real nutrition has the power to make a difference in people's lives. Orgain's new 30-gram complete protein shakes offer protein-packed real nutrition designed to satisfy your cravings without any added sugar. Plus, they're an excellent source of premium ultra-filtered protein with all 9 essential amino acids. I'm big into that. Orgain's products are handcrafted with high-quality ingredients that make it taste like a candy bar. I'm into that. Looking to fuel your personal best? Who isn't? Need muscle support and recovery? Who doesn't? Or just looking to maintain a healthy lifestyle? Orgain's 30-gram protein shakes check all of the boxes. They taste great. Nate has been eating them. He loves them. And Steven, when he plays pickleball, his doctor recommended him start doing some protein stuff. This is the way to get into it. Remember, there are no quick fixes when it comes to your health. If you want more protein, give Orgain 30-gram protein shakes a try. Head to Orgain.com/Nateland and use code Nateland for 30% off your order. That's the best offer you will find, but you'll have to use my code Nateland for 30% off. One last time, for 30% off, head to Orgain.com/Nateland and use the code Nateland. The comments today and always and every day come from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcast reviews, and Nateland at NateBargatze.com. And those are the only places.
That's right.
Oh, somebody did bring me some gifts in Fresno. And
for us?
No, just for me. And then they brought a comment, and I forgot it at home. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, you didn't keep your end of the deal.
The Drury family. They're a very nice couple.
Well, that's enough. And they just want their name mentioned.
They brought a lot of stuff, and we took a picture together. And they brought like some nuts, some peanut butter, all homemade kind of stuff. I don't know if it's homemade, but it's local.
Okay.
And then some olive oil, It was great.
Yeah, just household goods.
Yeah.
They brought me tinfoil.
Which is what I'm into. Yeah. Just toilet paper. Just bring some stuff.
Yeah.
And they were very nice.
First comment comes from John McCain.
Josh
McCain.
John McCain, old comment.
He's back. Yeah. Aaron, since you're very proficient using the internet, thank you. I'm sure you're already aware of the Reddit community TV Too High. They are fighting the good fight against our greatest epidemic. I am very familiar with this subreddit. I believe we've talked about it on the podcast before. It was definitely the genesis of my crusade against the TVs that are too high.
This you didn't start on your own?
I can't remember. I think I commented on it and then I found the subreddit after, but the subreddit is what drives it a lot of time. It's just a very active community on there. People making fun of each other's TV setups. It's good stuff. For some reason, Reddit is banned, or you can't go to Reddit on the Zanies Wi-Fi. Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
It's weird to have Reddit blocked off, but not any of these other sites.
And Dusty's website's blocked off.
Is it really?
Or his YouTube channel last week.
Oh yeah, you're on restricted on this Wi-Fi. A lot of your stuff's blocked off.
Yes. As it should be.
A lot of the Nateland stuff too. Like a bunch of Nateland episodes are not available on the Zanies Wi-Fi, recorded in this building. And they're like,
it's weird.
We got to restrict it. Megan Barnes. Hey, folks. I was on Jeopardy and won 3 games back in 2011.
Wow.
That was an easy year.
Way to go, Megan.
The reason second and third place don't get the money they win is once a man went on to play to win enough for an engagement ring, and once he reached that number, he put his buzzer down and stopped playing. So now only the winner keeps the money to make it more competitive. Now second place gets $3,000 and third place gets $2,000 because they have to pay for their own hotel and travel accommodations, and that helps defray the cost. Interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's brought to you by Aleve.
Yeah, I heard.
Aleve sponsors that.
One guy ruined it all just because he stopped playing. Right. That's a story right there to be like, this guy won enough for the engagement ring, and that's all he wanted.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
I think so too. Well, here we got some footage of Megan Barnes on Jeopardy right there.
All right, Megan. Yeah, what she said, she won three games back.
3 games. I mean, that's a solid, man. Wow, she did well in those 3 days too.
I think she was on some other game shows too, and I think happens a lot.
$103,000 in 3 games you're putting in some work.
Yeah.
She's
doing a lot of true daily doubles there.
Yeah, congrats to Megan and the United States government.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you, Megan. Christy Schalk. My lifelong dream was to be a contestant on the Wheel of Fortune. 13 years ago, my husband and I competed together on a couples episode during Valentine's week. We walked away with like $7,000, but I realized I wasn't even 40 and I had peaked. My dreams were realized in one fell swoop. I guess now I can only dream of being a guest podcaster on Nateland. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, good luck, Christy.
You go. That's not happening. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, now joining the studio, back from New York City at the SNL 50th anniversary show. Put your hands together for Nate Bargatze joining the podcast. Oh, how about that?
All right.
We're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, dude?
I've already wore this shirt. I didn't get a new shirt. So I'll put this one back on.
You've already wore this in the podcast?
When I hosted this is the shirt I got.
Oh.
Sweater I got.
Gotcha.
And then yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right.
Yeah.
Your voice gone a little bit? I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The whole week was good. Did you already do everything?
No.
We just started the comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've done like 2 or 3 of them. So you can hop into that. But
yeah, Well, let's hop in. Let's stay in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christy Schalk, who competed on Wheel of Fortune, it said her next dream is to be a guest podcaster on Nateland. Christy
We said,
Shaw.
tough luck, Christy.
She's been on Wheel of Fortune 13 years ago. Not done much since then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Like there's,
Try to get a few more credits, Christy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, try to do Jeopardy. Try to do
She has one more credit than
Family
I
Feud.
do. Chrissy, can I get on your podcast?
Does she have a podcast?
No, I'm just saying.
Probably that time I did Wheel of Fortune.
I'd listen in.
Me too.
For a little bit. I want to
Yeah,
hear what it's
see how it
like.
goes.
Somebody's jealous because they can only get on Hollywood Squares over here.
Yeah. I've done a few.
Okay.
Yeah, that is funny because that's like winning. I don't know, winning a contest and then just asking for a full-time job. And they go, like, well, just let me be on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we would like to hear it.
Well, I think Chrissy's joking about
I know.
that.
All right.
You want me to
sorry.
keep reading it, or do you want
Me.
to take over?
Let me read some so my
Okay.
voice can hopefully catch up.
Well, this
I don't know if that's how it works.
we skipped the
I think-
first
is
one.
that not how it
Warm
works?
it up.
You're gonna warm it back up,
Yeah.
ease it back into it.
Get
Okay.
it got
we,
going.
we skipped the first one.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
if you want to start with that one.
Josh Teeter. I think I know that. I was fortunate to win the Corn Ferries Tour Panama Championship. I enjoyed Aaron's signature disc on the shuttle ride to the course, which had to be what led to my 65 -5 round. Great job, Aaron. I am getting ready to order some new head covers for the new season. I want to ask you all, mind if I use the Nateland podcast logo as one of them? Absolutely
All right.
not, dude.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
that'd
amazing.
be great. Yeah, congratulations.
Congrats,
Josh
Aaron.
Teeter. Wow.
Yeah, I met him. Does he live
yeah.
in Kentucky, right?
Yeah, Lexington.
Okay, yeah, I've met him
Yeah.
a couple times.
He
This
gave
guy's
us
the
some
man.
golf clubs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
rules.
yeah.
Yep.
Great
guy.
Wow. Yeah,
How
so
about
everybody
that?
he gets his card now. You go see him in the pros.
Oh man, with the Nateland.
Yeah, we got
golf club covers.
our boy Augustine's in the Corn Ferry. Corn Ferry is so tough because I mean these guys look at. I know that Kyle Westmoreland too at the top. They just score so low. They go so low
Mhm.
in these courses. It's just insane. But yeah, we would love that.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, man. 45 years old.
Yeah. Maybe it's not too late for you to win the Corn Ferry.
That's true. I mean, that's to win it.
I
Yeah.
think it is for Nate.
Yeah. I was just trying to be
Well.
nice.
If I get the right circumstances.
Yeah.
uh,
All right. Then
then we're back
now
to the
Jeff Manis. Jeff Manis. In the late 80s, my dad was on Price is Right while we were in California. Oh, that's why she said the Wheel of Fortune, because y'all did game shows
Game
last
shows.
week?
Yeah.
I thought y'all didn't do a podcast in my honor last week, but you said y'all still did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
some people said we didn't.
Yeah. In the late 80s, my dad was on The Price is Right while we were in California for vacation. He was a pastor at the time. He was the second person called down and never made it on stage. Bob Barker mocked him mercilessly as the show went on for his awful bidding. It's now a great memory. It turned into an amazing sermon illustration for him over the years.
Oh, that's fun.
Wow. How bad was the bidding? That's what I'd like to know. I mean, what was he doing?
$250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I mean, how could you use that in a sermon? He's just bad at a game show.
Maybe
Humility?
perseverance,
humility.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You made it there. You thought you were going to win something, then you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Not only
And
did
the
you
worst
not win,
case scenario happens.
Not only did you not win, but you got humiliated.
Yeah.
His wife left him. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Bob Barker, was he known to be mean?
No, just funny jabs.
Yeah.
I think by the end he was an old man. He could be a little
Yeah.
short with people, right? He's just over it.
But this was late 80s.
Oh, late 80s. So he was.
I think he
Yeah.
was
Prime.
playful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet it wasn't mean.
Maybe showed it in his sermon. Yeah.
That'd be
I
fun.
bet they didn't. Well, they may have had a VHS copy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's fun.
Can you imagine asking for that? Hey, I'm the guy that didn't make it on stage. You mind if I get a copy of this? Trying to show it at church.
I kind of feel sorry for the people who finally got their comment read by Aaron right before Nate walks in.
Oh yeah,
got my comment around Nateland. What did Nate say?
I feel bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe, you just got us.
Maybe you could just say their 3 names just so they.
Oh, Josh McCain, Megan Barnes, and Christy Shaw.
There you go.
Yeah. Wait, why? Because he didn't say their names?
No, I'm just saying they'd be excited about you reading their name.
Oh, they're like, dumbo Aaron.
Yeah. Who cares?
He said it better than my family says it. Amanda, I had a family member get picked for The Price is Right, and she said you had to pay the sales tax on every prize you won, and you had a week to pay it or you didn't get the prize. So that's why you would see this same car a few times. If they couldn't come with the money, they kept that prize for another show.
Wow. That's crazy.
A week.
Yeah.
That's a real shakedown. You
Yeah.
got the money? You got the money or what? You're on a game show trying to win something, you got sales tax money? Come on, buddy.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, because they do. Yeah.
You go 1 minute, you're jumping up and down screaming. Like an hour later, you're like on the phone with your wife going, we got to sell the house.
Yeah. You have $30,000.
What do we do?
Yeah, and because you need probably like $8,000 to get the car. Like, even if you're like, look, if I can get $8,000, I can get $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there's probably still some kind of tax you got to pay for receiving the car for free.
Oh, I wonder how that's done legally. Maybe you'd have time to sell the car and then pay you know what I mean? You get it, and then in that week you sell it.
Did you take a loan?
I went on The Price is Right, and all I got was an errand.
And a loan. I had to take out a mortgage on my house. It's crazy.
Bryce Evans. I was on The Price is Right. You know Bryce?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Bryce sells me hats.
Oh. You buy a lot of hats?
Yeah.
You got a hat guy?
Yeah.
Is this the guy I just met?
I think so.
Okay. I think I just met this guy.
He may spell his name with a Y, though, but it's still Bryce Evans.
I mean, is that him?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Still, all right.
We
still don't know.
I never seen him acting like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like that we go, we're not sure if that's his name spelled. And then we go, well, is this his face? And you go, maybe.
he's never acting like that when I'm around.
Well, yeah.
It's a little different.
Well, let's read the comment first.
All right. Yeah. I was on The Price is Right, so I have some insight on the wheel spin. I think there is a limiter mechanism inside. I jumped up with the wheel and brought it down with all my might. An old lady spun it before me, and she got it around just about as well. So they either slightly control it or have the strength of a 90-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't find video of him spinning the wheel.
Yeah, that is him.
Yeah.
He's Jared on the game show. He's got Jared on his name tag.
Huh.
But he wrote in as Bryce Evans.
I watched this video, and it's behind the scenes. He says Aaron Paul gave him advice on how to get on there. Aaron Paul was a contestant, Price is Right.
Way back in the day, yeah.
And he gave him some tips on how to
I don't know if that's him.
get on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Bryce.
Yeah.
Wow. And look what it did for him.
Yeah, he got Breaking Bad out of that.
Yeah.
He was in a Corn Pops commercial, too. Do you remember that one? Gotta have my Pops.
I don't.
I remember
You don't
those
remember?
commercials.
No, Aaron Paul was in that.
Wow.
Maybe it was Honeycomb. I don't know. He did a cereal commercial. And now he's doing well.
Yeah. I don't know if I could go that crazy.
Yeah. We'd never get picked.
We would never get it. Would, yeah. I'd feel very uncomfortable.
You don't think you would go that crazy?
No.
I'm trying to
it would
imagine
be-
you having that much emotion.
Yeah. It's.
No, I don't know, dude. Casino night, you're getting pretty into it, man.
Yeah.
By the end
that's
there
true.
at the roulette table.
That is
Well,
true.
that we got on the run there.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, well, this is the same feeling, I bet.
Yeah, that was not real money.
So, but if it was real money, wouldn't that increase the?
I don't know. I think I would be. I don't think I could do it. But I mean, I guess if you just knew you had to go crazy.
Yeah.
Is that Garth Brooks behind him in the white?
Looks a little bit.
And that never got brought up. Jared Fogle on the left. You go, good night. That was a funny SNL thing they showed.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. Glenn Blackwell. We know Glenn.
Yeah.
As a Nashville realtor, I think Dusty's idea of the Rearranger show is brilliant. The show could join me at a listing appointment where Dusty helps my clients who don't want to spend money on staging get their house ready to list.
I'm into it.
So this is the TV show idea that Dusty has, Nate.
But I think my idea, though, is more for, I don't know, maybe this is but like I go into a messy house. Mm-hmm. I don't bring any tools. I mean, I can bring tools, but no shelving. And then I just rearrange your house and make it better. And
no expertise, not just gut feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit of an expert, I think.
Okay.
And I think it's a hot show. I mean, we went into it. My pitch was really last week.
Yeah.
So
I'll go back and listen.
Yeah. It's a hot show.
Yeah.
I think it would be good.
Requires no buying of anything.
No buying. I just bring in some tools. I may need a screwdriver and a hammer and stuff like that. But yeah, you just find some things. Usually you can, in a pretty messy house, usually you can go, oh, if you just did this or this or this, then it starts to come together and people go, oh, this is nice. You mean I could have did this the whole time? I'm like, well, yeah, if you had my eye, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a little motivation.
Straight eye for the straight guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dusty was on the Hollywood Squares this past week.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
So I watched the episode. Down the end was you and Tyra Banks.
Yeah.
And then you had the 25,000. Is that planned or was that truly by chance?
What are you? I don't know. I don't remember. It was months ago, but
that answers my question.
But it's even, I mean, they had to put it in an envelope. No matter what. So either, it was planted by somebody.
Okay.
It didn't, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like nobody has it.
Yeah. She had a 1 in 9 chance, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels good. When I did Nashville Squares a while back, I also had one of the winning things.
Mm-hmm. Taped in LA.
Yeah. And then I won, After Midnight and I won Nice Ones, Ron Funches show. I mean, I'm on a roll with game shows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just want you guys to know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hear you.
In case you're getting a family feud and you're looking for a guy.
Oh, yeah. It would be good to have you. Just you, one Dusty, and he goes, he's a cousin outside the family.
Yeah. Way outside.
Becca Furches. I love Family Feud and do not love Steve Harvey as the host.
Oh.
Wow. He's definitely funny, but I'm watching that game show. I want to see the actual game. So many times I'm saying, let it go and get back to the game. When he keeps going on and on and on and on and on.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But the game, it's still the same, right? It's the same amount of time. They don't lose out.
He does that pauses though. Like he'll something happens, he stops and he walks over there. And if you're watching this, if you are like, I love this game so much.
I just want to hear the answers.
I just want to hear the answers and I want to go do it. It's got to be a show. It's like a casino if you're doing the slots. Like those people just want to boom, pull it and go. And if it stopped and was like a video, they would be, you wouldn't even get anybody to play it because they'd be annoyed.
But my question is, with the previous host that didn't linger as much, were you seeing more games?
Linger. Yeah. I don't know if
I don't think you were.
I guess there's the same amount of gameplay. I don't know how that's possible though.
Yeah.
But the game Family Feud actually kind of stinks. It's not that good of a game.
I don't know. I got to disagree with you.
But now it's like the questions are not. They're all kind of derivative of each other. It's kind of
what I like about it is it's not really based on intelligence. It's just like they go, we asked people these questions and these are the answers they gave us. So you got to think common. You got to be a common thinker.
Yeah.
You don't go, what's the answer? You go, what would people say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jeremy Pfizer.
Pfizer.
But it's not Pfizer.
I know.
I mean, he's close. Jeremy's close to be living a different life. He would be writing in, tell you that.
Yeah.
He'd be living it up. Coming up on February 21st and 22nd, I am looking to go 2 for 2, seeing Dusty in Boise on the 21st and Aaron in Spokane on the 22nd.
All right.
For these actions, may I receive the honor of Nateland Listener of the Week. If not, can you at least validate parking?
That's awesome. I do want to clarify, I'm in Spokane on the 23rd.
Oh.
So
sorry, Jeremy.
Make sure we handle that.
And also, let's see you do it first, This is a lot of talk right now.
Yeah.
Let's see you show up to both shows.
That's right.
Get a picture with Dusty and Aaron.
Yep.
There you go.
And I will not be there on the 22nd.
Yeah. But you got to find Aaron on the 22nd.
I'll be at Tacoma. But yeah, I'd love to see you, Jeremy.
Come on down.
Come on out.
Get a picture with Dusty will be tough.
Why is that?
Bring a gift.
Yeah. That's how you get back.
No, it is like, I'm not even trying to be like that, but when people do bring me gifts, I go, wow, I want to take a picture with them. You know what I mean? Because it's very nice.
Yeah, of course.
And it's hard to do the meet and greet, but it's like, if people bring me stuff, I'm like, well, now I feel like I should, take a picture with you. I don't want to not do that. That's not very nice of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
did you put a hole in that table?
it's just in there.
Okay.
It is now.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Your dad's been teaching me tricks.
Yeah. Nathan Taylor. Nate's DoorDash commercial was hilarious. It got me thinking about what products the other guys could advertise. Brisket could do a life insurance commercial. Aaron would definitely do a Milky Way commercial. Dusty could do a cigar commercial.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yours sounds perfect for you.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I don't think you can do tobacco on TV, though.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you have to find something else.
I'll do vape.
I think you can do it. Can you do it in magazines?
You can do it in magazines for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Just find a magazine.
Yeah.
You could do life insurance. You would like that?
Sure.
You just know a lot about it.
I think it's just usually old people that are the ones that are doing
Yeah.
it.
You go in there for life insurance and the guy behind the counter goes, look, I'll cover it, dude. He goes,
yeah,
I'll do it. Don't worry about it.
I'll do a reverse mortgage ad.
Yeah.
I was in a hotel room this weekend. I was watching something on TV, and every commercial break, your commercial was on.
On TV?
Yeah.
It's showing
To the
up.
point where
Oh, yeah.
I started muting. I was like, I'm sick of this.
On regular TV?
Yeah. And it was on during SNL.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was on. See, I thought it was like, I know people are saying they've seen it crazy on YouTube.
Yep.
And so then I thought it was like more online because I haven't seen it on regular TV, like watching like cable TV.
This was a Roku,
Here we go.
but it had channels. I can't remember what I was watching.
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, I know the SNL, like they aired it like twice.
That's crazy.
It's good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love how you said Roku there. It's very close to but it felt like you said it like you had never said it before.
Yeah.
Halfway to it.
Roku.
You said Roku.
Roku.
I didn't say it with a lot of confidence, I
Yeah.
admit.
I was trying to watch Hulu. I'm like,
Roku.
I was wearing FUBU.
Yeah.
Fubu.
Brian wearing FUBU in the hotel.
Watching Hulu on my Roku. That's a commercial.
Oh.
You just go
Don't worry
wrong.
about
You right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Good
good.
night.
Thought something broke.
I heard something.
I
break.
rolled over a piece of paper. We're good.
Yeah. It's a piece of wood. It's a piece of steel behind him. He goes, and you heard that crumble. Sounded like aluminum.
We're good. I rolled over the comments that are the ad reads that are on the ground. Sorry about that.
We love talking about our Helix mattresses. I've had my Helix mattress almost 3 years now. Nate's parents just got one, and guess what? They love it. We all do. It improves how I sleep. Everyone knows I love their pillows, and I do. We talk about it all the time, but it has helped with my sleep. Brian and Aaron have sleep apnea.
That's not in the ad.
It is in the ad.
Oh, no.
Brian and Aaron have sleep apnea.
Jeez. One time you called me by my real name.
And they said I always call you Brian.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the respectful person here. And they said don't forget it. You know what I mean?
I won't.
And they said their Helix mattresses helped with it. You guys said that, right? That it helps with your sleep apnea?
Oh, absolutely.
My old mattress was one of those old springs. I got a bit about it on YouTube. There's a YouTube video called about my old mattress. And I finally realized how bad that is for sleep. Helix fixes that issue. It's great for hot sleepers, people with back pain, and snorers. It's for everyone. It is a good mattress. Actually, I got one for my sister not long ago. My sister they kept complaining about how bad they were sleeping, and they were telling me about their old mattress, and I told them about this, and they weren't doing it. They weren't getting it. And finally, I said, you know what? I'm going to buy him a mattress. My sister has done a lot of great things for me. And so I said, I'm going to buy him a mattress. And I bought him a Helix, and they love it.
That's awesome.
They've been sleeping great. They feel good. I don't think they would tell me if they didn't like it because I bought it for them, but they seem happier. Go to helixsleep.com/Nate for 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free dream pillows with mattress purchase, plus free bedding bundle, 2 dream pillows, sheet set, and mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. This is their best offer available for President's Day, exclusive for our listeners and better than what you will find on the site. That's helixsleep.com/Nate for 27% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/Nate.
Jody Whittaker. We all know Jody.
Yeah. Jody.
What's the over-under on how many of the musical guests at the SNL concert Nate knew? He obviously knew Dave Grohl. I really wanted to know what he thought about David Byrne and if he knew who he was. So excited to see him and Laura on the broadcast. I did not know who David Byrne was. Yeah. I think I knew that song. I did not know
love
them.
David Byrne. He's like got a cult following.
Yeah, I did not know David Byrne.
Talking Heads, right?
Yes. But I've heard of Talking Heads, but I did not know like what I that's funny that she said David Byrne because I did ask. I don't know who that is.
I don't know. I wouldn't have known David Byrne either. Talking Heads for sure, but I don't know by his
And they brought him up by their names.
I didn't know the woman he was up there with.
I did not either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think who else was
that was for Saturday night or Friday?
That was Friday night.
Or sent me the list.
Was this
Let me forward it to you.
Was this the episode where Post Malone sang the Nirvana song?
With Nirvana?
Yeah.
Did you love every second of that?
I did. Did no one like it?
I was like, I don't know how this could be worse than
it's one of those impossible. It's an impossible thing to do, to cover such a beloved song from a band where the lead singer is dead. It's like an impossible task.
Yeah.
So like,
don't do it.
How good could he have done?
That's what I'm saying.
I thought he did great. I don't understand.
Exactly. It's like, fine unless you.
That's like one of those that I thought he did great, and I thought it was awesome, and everybody loved it. And then I was curious because then you go and people are like, well, I didn't like it, or I heard afterwards some stuff, but
it killed in the room. Like people were,
it was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy because post Nirvana, which is like the perfect name. I talked to Dave Grohl afterwards, like y'all could tour with that, and it like works out. I thought he sounded great, but that's where I mean with music, I don't understand. I don't know. I understand like what that band got back together. That's good. That's cool for those guys. They don't ever get back together.
Yeah,
and
it's probably been years since they played together, right? Yeah,
and so. I thought it was great. I didn't, but I mean that I was wondering because I'm sure I think everything's great, and then you get off, and then everybody's like mad or said it was bad or something like that.
I just don't think he's good, and I don't know.
Post Malone,
and I don't understand.
Yeah, but is this you? Is this you?
Maybe.
Like, maybe it could be. You already don't like him.
I just don't think it's good though. People sent it to me, and I was like, Kurt Cobain had, not that he had some amazing singing voice, but he had a kind of a little yodel almost about his voice when he would sing these songs, and there was none of that in this. I just feel like
he wasn't doing a Kurt Cobain impression.
Yeah, he's doing himself, and he stayed alive, so that helped. Yeah. So I know that's sure that's Post Malone's fault. So,
but I just think I don't know. I think there should be a little something of that in it.
I think you just got to accept that you're just gonna not like stuff, and other people are. And I'm grappling with that too. You're not though, because
I accept it. But I'm just having a conversation about it.
I'm talking about just beyond this conversation, just in general.
I would think you don't like Post Malone, and you go, I don't like him already, so he's going to annoy me no matter what.
But sometimes I don't like people, and then they do something, and I go, well, that was really good.
But what's the general online? Were they saying?
I saw some tweets
most
that were
people seem to like it. People were saying to me, saying, "Oh, I love this. What do you think?"
Some people didn't like it.
Yeah,
it shows you that online is just.
If it killed in the room, then that's all that.
It would kill in the room. It would sell out if they sold tickets to that. Everybody would love it. Everybody would have fun.
Sure,
it's the best. It was very, very. It was like I thought that was like the best part
of the whole concert.
That concert, I love that.
Did they do a bunch of songs?
I just texted you.
Did they do a bunch of Nirvana songs,
or did they just play the one song?
No, they just played that one song, which was great. Because that's why I think it was so great. Because they played that one song, they got out.
What am I pulling up?
Oh, she sent the list of all the performers. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
If we care.
We got Mumford and Sons right here, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what we're showing. Are we going to go through?
Well, let's start with Wednesday. Let's go through.
Oh, the whole thing. It was a crazy.
It's a crazy week.
Whole week.
Yeah.
So I got there Wednesday because I was supposed to have rehearsal Thursday, and then as I was about to take off, they go, I don't have to rehearse until Saturday.
Yeah.
And I was taking off Wednesday. So, and they were like, you could basically just come Friday for the concert or Saturday, But I was already going. And I was like, all right, I'll just go. And, I'll I was like, I'll end up, I went and I was like, to some spots. So I went to New York Comedy Club, used to be the Eastville Comedy Club in this room. That's where I first hit. So I texted, me and Gaffigan went down there, and that's where I got Conan out of that room. It used to be the Eastville Comedy Club, and now it's New York. So I got my first two Conans auditioning out of that room.
Leaning up against the wall, huh? Pretty casual, right?
Well, that's the old, it's the old way you did it.
You're going to be sitting down within a year, dude. You're going to be sitting down.
Oh, I'm in the round. Well, everybody said.
It's the only reason he hadn't already.
Yeah. I thought about sitting down. I thought about trying it. But yeah, this is all New York.
I know.
New York City's all leaning.
And it's so.
I think I've done this club in the daytime at an open mic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the one when it was Eastville and open mic. I went in there and I was running a Conan. And I asked if I could run it. And that's where the guy goes, I can throw you up last. It was a 5 p.m. open mic. He didn't. I don't think he understood the words. I'm doing Conan.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to him.
Uh-huh.
Like and because you think just every comic's got like that shorthand.
Yeah.
I'm running Conan tonight. Do you mind if I do it? And you're like, yeah. And I told him that, and he goes, "You can go up last." And so I was going to sit there for an hour.
Yeah. Maybe more.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Wait till all the crowd's gone.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there, and then I went to sell. So this picture is Mike Vecchione's idea. So I got a lot of comics. We got together and hung out. So we went to the Eastville with Gaffigan. Then I went over to then Spade. I don't know if it was Wednesday night. Spade got in Thursday night. But then Wednesday night went over to Comedy Cellar and went up there. And Chris Rock, this is going to be all just names you're going to hear. So, but Rock came by and Aziz, and so we were hanging out. And then we were about to be leaving, and Vecchione's idea was this, but I do like that it's the pictures there. This is the corner I stood at when I would hand out flyers for the Boston Comedy Club, which was right up the street that way on 3rd Street, I think. And so Comedy Cellar's, if you're looking at this picture face on, Comedy Cellar is on my left. If, me facing you.
Yeah.
And then, so I would stand there and I'll hand out flyers. That corner, I remember standing on that corner and I'm like handing out flyers and you're just in mode like, hey, we got a great show for you tonight, Boston Comedy Club. You want to come down? Hey, we got a great show for you tonight. Hey, we got a great show for you. Trying to get people to come to Boston Comedy Club. And then I turn and I go, hey, we got a great show. And it was Bill Burr. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. And I go, I'm sorry, dude. And he was going to run his first Letterman.
Oh, wow.
So it was Letterman, his first late night set. And I barked to him and I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I where you're like, I know who you are. Like,
Yeah.
I felt embarrassed. I mean, it's at that point, I mean, he's going to do his first Letterman. But he was like, he's the man. Like,
for sure.
And he and then he was like, no, don't worry about me. He was very, and then he was like, I'm going to run Letterman. I was like, well, there's you can come to the Boston, you can come, I was like, the cellar, he obviously knows the cellar's there, but I was like, there's another room right down there, Village Lantern. Like,
I can get you up last with the mic over there.
Yeah. Just telling them like, you can just go to all these rooms and go run it. But that's where I stood on that corner for quite a while. Just freezing weather. And it's where I would have my daydreaming of playing Bridgestone to just, and then as I handed someone a flyer and they dropped it on the ground in front of me. And I remember one time I didn't bring a jacket. I went out there to go stand, and I, for some reason, didn't bring a jacket. And it was so cold. And I think I had to eventually go back in and get someone to switch because I was like, this was a mistake and I'm sorry. Yeah. But I do not have a jacket out there and it's freezing.
Yeah.
But so
you brought half a jacket this time.
Yeah. Well, that's a jacket underneath it. I bought that jacket when I was there. It's a cool jacket.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a half a jacket and a jacket underneath.
1.5 jackets.
1.5 jackets. So, we went there, and then Thursday night, Spade came to town, and so then we went to the stand, and then back to the Comedy Cellar. So we go to the Comedy Cellar, and think about this. We go to the Comedy Cellar. Everybody's kind of in town, right? Because everybody's going to SNL 50. So Spade, we text like Rock and Spade. I'm like, Spade's with me. Then we text Rock. We're like, hey, we're going over to the Cellar. He's like, so he comes over. So we get there. And then when you go there, they're like, all right, do y'all want to go up? And, and Spade's going to go up. He doesn't always go up either. He was like, I'm not going up. And then he was like, I'll go up. Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, let's all go up. So I went up, Spade went up, Rock went up. Without knowing, we did not know this. They told us as we were going up, that same show, how that show started was the host. And then it went Steve Martin, Martin Short, John Mulaney. And then it was like
Leslie. So y'all's was actually the worst part of the show.
We were the worst part of the show.
People started leaving.
Yeah. Steve Martin, I believe.
Was he running his monologue?
He was running his monologue. And I think he went to a club when he did the Oscars, but like outside of that, he hasn't been to a room like that since the 60s.
Yeah,
I saw
that's
a video
crazy.
Of him.
Yeah.
There. Lucy posted, I think.
She showed me.
So that show, this I don't know if they're still showing this picture, but it's this at the Comedy Cellar. That show is those people paid, I think, $18 for that ticket.
Wow.
And the show was, Leslie Jones went up. John Lancaster was the host, then a couple other the comics that are just on the Cellar lineup.
Yeah.
And then I'm not saying I'm them, but I went up and then Spade, then Rock. And I brought Spade up. And so this crowd was like
what is happening right now?
Yeah. It was like, because they were like, no, we were like, we don't have to go up. And then they're like, no, I'll go up. And we were saying it's got to be one of the better lineups ever at the Cellar.
If you're like a no name, you're like, I'd like to get bumped.
Yeah.
I want to be bumped on this.
Please don't wedge me between.
Imagine complaining I need my time.
Yeah. There's comics that would complain.
Yeah.
Those people paid $18. And you got that, and it's just boof, and you don't, and it just keeps going.
I was fun? Steve Martin. So I love Steve Martin, but
he's awesome.
I'd love to see him do stand up.
You got there after he had gone up, though?
Yeah, I did not see him there that night.
Oh, okay.
But they came in and then they kind of left.
He did the opening monologue to SNL.
Yeah,
last night.
Oh, I'll check that out.
Yeah,
and so he went up and did that. Then he brought Martin Short up, and they do a whole thing together. A show together, and then they brought Mulaney up. It's like absolutely nuts, and so it's just stopping in, and then it's like a wave that goes in. Then it's like Leslie Jones, and then it kind of like I think, and then it's like then it's then I bring up then like when I came up, they went crazy, and then Spade. Then I'm like, all right, well, I'm bringing up someone, and I go David Spade, and they're like, what?
Oh, was that? I was just gonna ask, how fun was that? Knowing you
Very
get to
fun.
bring up
very fun because they've already had so much.
They're like,
who else could
David
even
Spade?
So then Spade, and then they're like, after Spade, it's like, well, what else is going to happen? It's like Chris Rock, and then it's just like,
who followed Chris Rock?
Spade. Went up to Chris.
Somebody like me.
yeah. The New York.
One more comic, folks. One more comic. Chappelle. Nope. Brian Bates.
I forget.
That would be the perfect spot for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'd love to see you do.
Yeah, I forget who did it, but that's the wonderful. That was
I think
that's
only
New York
Post Malone could follow Chris Rock.
I think we'd have to put him in there.
He goes, I'm gonna do my Nirvana.
Yeah.
Or
he would just do someone else. Now he's like, I'm gonna do my Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Post Hedberg.
Yeah, Post Hedberg. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that night.
Winter is in full swing. Sometimes it can be hard to get up and go in the morning or get outside for a walk or run because of the cold. But AG1 ensures you're still hitting your health goals every day with just a single daily health drink. Everyone knows I've been using AG1 for well over a year now. It helps stay consistent with something and starting each day outright. I took it on the road with me this weekend in Florida. Valentine's Day was last week. Well, that is true. And we can all admit Valentine's Day isn't just about showing love to, I like to throw that in because Dusty always says that.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day just isn't about showing love to others, Aaron. It's about self-love too. Show some love to yourself. My self-care includes drinking AG1.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's just when you want to be like me, Aaron.
In every way.
So easy. It's just one scoop and the health benefits start there. I can feel difference from a year ago.
Wow.
I think you guys can see it. I got more energy, supports my immune health, and I just feel better overall. Thank you, Dusty. This is why we've sponsored with AG1 for so long. And it's never too late to create a new health habit for 2025. So try AG1 for yourself. It's 2025 hasn't officially started, right, Dusty?
Well, that's true. Well, if that is even in the year, I mean, who knows what year it actually is.
That's a great point. It's sometimes helped me. It's helped me stay consistent with that, and that's why I've been partnered with AG1 for so long. AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your box. Are you guys listening?
Yes.
So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/Nate to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/Nate to start your new year on a healthier note.
And
was there something about the Louis Vuitton building?
Oh, I just sent a random picture of a Louis Vuitton building.
Oh,
I don't know if you have it in there.
No, I don't think so.
I thought I texted it. Or I sent it to.
I may have missed that.
Yeah, I can say it. It's just a building.
But what was the story behind it?
No story. It's just a really cool building.
Oh, okay.
It's a crazy building.
So we could just Google that.
Well, it's funner to see that it came from my phone. I got Aaron. I can
airdrop it to me.
Yeah.
Boom.
This was just near the hotel, and look at this.
I mean, okay, that was worth pulling up.
Is that not crazy?
Yeah, that looks insane. It looks like a suitcase.
It looks like you're gonna see that almost could be the way new buildings go in cities, because it looks unbelievable.
This is almost more impressive than the Sphere.
Yes, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. When you're walking up there, it would be like, go see it in person.
Yeah.
I mean, the little handles it comes off of it. It's made. It's I don't know. Every time you walk,
I assumed a lot of this was screens, but it's straight up. It's the real.
It's the real thing.
Wow. Yeah, that's better than the Statue of Liberty.
They're really making some money there at Louis Vuitton, huh?
That building's closed.
Is it really?
It's not. Their store is like across the street. I don't know.
Bankrupt building it.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go into. But I mean, maybe it doesn't need to just have it be an empty building.
I saw how much money Louis Vuitton makes a year. It will shock you how much money they make.
Yeah,
they're like one of the biggest companies in the world, just from bags.
Yeah.
And other stuff.
Just from,
Yeah.
All right. So that was Thursday.
That is a cool building, though. When you guys were all searching for a picture of a building,
You're like, how
yeah,
cool could it be?
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. I mean, I actually really thought about it and took a picture of it. And I said, I'm going to show that because it was just, I was so impressed by that building. So Thursday night,
Friday night?
we go do that stuff. So Friday night is the concert. So Friday night we go to the concert. We get in there, meet Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I think I have a picture of her.
Yep.
Yeah.
How was she?
She was wonderful. She knew me. She actually asked me to take the picture because her kids love me.
All right.
And,
that's awesome.
So then I was like, "Well, can I get one too?"
Yeah, of course.
And then took a picture with her. She ended up, talking to her like kind of throughout the weekend, like nothing crazy, just. It's crazy. It is like when I think of it like when all the celebrities get together, it's like I think I've talked about it before, the shorthand is gone. So there's that's like, oh yeah, well, you're great, you're a big fan. Then you just kind of have a conversation like you've known each other for a while. Mm-hmm. You just kind of get into it. Or
it's like when comics meet each other.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It would be like anybody at like any kind of office working environment
where it's almost like you can speak shorthand, right?
Yeah.
Not the shorthand's gone. The shorthand's you can just get into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Is that what I meant? Yeah. So
there was her husband Brad. Coming back from the break last night on the show, there was one shot where you see him yawning. It's very funny. I mean, it's 2.5 hours into the show.
A long night.
They could have got me a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long night, and dude, every night is the longest. I mean, we were out every single night. So we're sitting here. So at great seats, got an aisle seat.
Ooh. I mean,
unbelievable.
That's primo.
I don't know. It was either, if you would have told me I could have Tom Hanks behind me or an aisle seat. And for me to get both is unbelievable. I'd much
rather have the aisle.
Yeah. Ray Romano's in front of me, Peyton Manning up a little bit to the left. We had Arcade Fire Guy. If y'all watched his, like when he went crazy, he came up wonderful.
Will Butler.
Yeah, he was just sitting in his seat, like, and me and Ray are like looking at him. He's got a crazy suit on, and so I did not put it together who he was at the time. Mm-hmm. He's very tall, and so he's sitting there, and now it all makes sense, because he's like kind of quiet and just sitting there like watching, but not too into the show. Uh-huh. And then he gets up and sings, and then you're like, oh, and you're like, well, that was the opposite of what I thought. But then I was thinking about that's like if you ever do, when you do a corporate gig or something where you got to go up and you got to sit in there, you're kind of like not paying attention to what's going on because mm-hmm. you're like, I have to go up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of staying in the head space of that. But I did not know that, so I'm just seeing him sit there, watch it, and then he just gets up and he starts going crazy and dancing and runs through the crowd. You're like, well, that's the opposite of I didn't have that pegged.
Yeah.
So we're there. Gafkin's over there. I mean, everybody. You just look. It's
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller sitting right next to us, which I've known. I got to know Miles Teller through golf in Lake Tahoe. He's awesome, man. He's an awesome dude.
That's great.
Yeah. Very fun to hang out with. Very funny. Like you can joke around him. Like he felt like hanging out with a comic.
That's cool.
Where you can just like like be funny. Also I hung out like that. Chris Pine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was
just normal dude
at the after party last night. Yeah, normal dude. Like just had a buddy with him from high school or something.
Yeah.
And it was a cool dude. I told him, he goes, I've never been to Nashville. And I go, you look like a guy that's been to Nashville a lot. I don't know.
What's he look like these days?
Even the name.
He was going through some.
Oh, no, he looks, I don't know. He looks like.
Felt like he was going through some stuff for a minute.
His hair is lighter. Yeah.
Yeah, see him on Kimmel there. Mm-hmm. It just seems like he was.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was awesome.
All right.
Because I feel like he's a good guy. Like he I feel like you don't know someone he's like that good of an actor.
He looks
they're
like
going to be intimidating or not like.
But this is a better look for me. See, he had a better look than that before. See, when you see him looking like that, you're like, are you okay?
Maybe he's researching a role to play you.
Yeah.
Dusty Slay Bob.
Right. When you look like this guy in the, any of these other pictures, it's like.
Well, if you go back to that one guy. For the Dusty look, that is Dusty that believes the earth is round.
I'm dressing up.
He goes, that's loves gravity.
Yeah.
That's a guy, right? That's a Dusty that loves, that's your alter ego. That
trust the science.
Who loves LA.
Trust the science.
But still drinking though.
Yeah.
He's still having a good time.
He's still a good time.
Yeah.
You're more fun, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. So we go to this. So the concert was in there. Steven Spielberg came up to me.
Crazy.
So we're sitting there. He got up. I wanted to meet him. You kind of just want to meet. I mean, all of them. You're just like, all right, you can knock all these, not knock them off, but you're kind of like, where are you going to get? You're not going to be around any of these people.
Yeah.
So you're like, let me just go. You just want to see if they seem nice or cool or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I got Tom Hanks. I've met before. And so we were him and his wife Rita, and so we're right behind us, and we talked to them, and then knew Ray and Miles and Peyton, and so knew a lot of people. And then we make contact with Spielberg, and he gets up to kind of like he's gonna walk over towards me. And then I was like, I'll just come to you. And then I went back behind him and talked to him. And I mean, he goes, I just wanted to meet the funniest water meter reader of all time.
Whoa, wow. Quoted a bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, I mean, him and his wife, they were big fans. They were like, what I always get told were like, it feels like you're in our house.
Wow.
Like you feel like, like they all want to meet Laura.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, he was.
Did he mention me?
He did.
Good.
Yeah. He goes,
when you getting breakfast?
Yeah. He goes, I heard old E.T.'s older now. He goes, I heard you got E.T. on the podcast. I go, yeah. Yeah, he's doing good.
Still trying to get home.
Yeah. What if we say you look like E.T.'s uncle?
Well, that just sounds mean.
I know. Well, I'm just trying to do something. Yeah. You asked if Steven Spielberg talked about you, so you kind of put me in a spot here.
Is this his wife on the bottom left?
No, that's Tom Hanks' son's girlfriend. No, not Chet. Another.
The one that's an actor that was.
No.
Oh.
Colin Hanks?
Yeah, Colin
Hanks.
No. That's a different one. Yeah.
It's different. Wow. I want to say Truman, but I'm not sure.
What happened to Colin? Remember him?
He still does
stuff. Some good stuff.
He was in Psych. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He was the detective in Psych.
I didn't know Psych. I knew... okay. I never watched that show, but he was in the college movie.
Van Wilder?
Yeah. He's still... Oh, no. He was in... He was in that movie that I love with... Orange County.
Yeah, Orange County. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Jack Black.
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah.
Jack Black. It was so Spielberg just wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful. I got to tell him my first movie I ever saw in the theaters was E.T.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was like, "Oh, so that's how." He goes, "So I got you started." I go, "Yeah." He's just like, I sound so too. I'm like, I saw my first. I went to first movie I went to in the theater is E.T. I was saying that so much. I said that to Chris Pine to something
theater.
About movie theater, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you just go.
You got to keep it real out there.
Well, it gets there. I don't even think about it till it's already there, and then it's already out, and you're like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah,
you just say, you
got to represent Old Hickory out there.
Well, you're. I'm fine representing it, but sometimes you're like, I don't want to get involved. I'm always just trying to avoid sometimes the what? What'd you say?
Yeah,
theater. I say theater. So he, unbelievable. awesome as all. Everything was cool.
You're in his next movie now?
Yep. Me and Spielberg.
War Horse too.
So then we that night we go. What was that night? It was we go. I had a funny thing. So there's an after party. There's an after party every night.
Yeah.
You me tell you what I've learned. All right, if you ever think, so this kind of situation where an SNL thing, you got to imagine all these celebrities. It's everybody's reading into everything. So where are you sitting? Are you allowed to bring a +1, not a +1? Are you sitting, are you farther back? Are you in the middle? Are you in the aisle? Are you in this? Or who are you next to? Who do they pair you with? Mm-hmm. And comics would do that too. You're always like, why are they putting me here and all this? And so you can always think that. There was an after party every night. I never knew about an after. Paul McCartney was doing shows for like 500, this small theater all week. And everybody was like, we went and saw Paul McCartney last night. You're like, none of us. And I mean, for me, I'm just like, well, I'm not in that circle, like to get asked to go there. Yeah. And you're like, oh, you don't get thought of and all this. And then I was talking to Tina Fey. And then Tina Fey's like, she goes, what are these after parties? I mean, I haven't heard about one of them. And she goes, and Paul McCartney's just doing shows all week. No one's telling me. Yeah. And it was like, you just had that moment where you're like, nothing is as pointed as you think it is.
Yeah.
Even because she is, if anybody should know anything, it's her. Mm-hmm. She's the one that they're like, if they ever retired, she would take over. I don't think she would, but like, but if she, all of this stuff, if anybody would ever know anything, and you just learn, I don't know, it's like I'd imagine probably in any business, but it's nice. There's moments you can go like, it's
a good lesson for kids because everyone thinks, everyone's getting invited to the party but me or whatever. And usually nobody knows what's going on.
Right. Usually nobody knows what's going on, and you're, and people will be overlooked, and it'll be big people, it'll be little people, and it'll be, but it was just very, I don't know, it was like comforting to hear her say that, where you're like, oh yeah, because I didn't hear about, everybody's like, we're going to see Paul McCartney. I'm like, no one, I didn't hear about any of this. And then the only reason, like the after parties were just, you found out in the moment, and then you're like, you're a little, I don't want to ask, because you're like, I don't want to show up, and they're like, you can't come in.
That's really the spot to be, I think, right? Because you're like, you get to go home. Right? Because they're like, oh, I didn't know I wasn't invited. But if you are invited, you're like, well, I got to go see Paul McCartney. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't say no.
You don't want to go see Paul McCartney then?
That's what I'm saying. You get invited, you're like, of course I got to go see Paul McCartney. Yeah. But if you don't get invited, you're like, good, I can go home.
But you wouldn't want to?
Well, yeah.
He doesn't want the hassle.
Yeah, I want to go back to the hotel. And but if you get invited, you're like, well, of course I'm going to go see Paul McCartney.
Win-win.
Yeah.
I would like to see Nate outside I've hosted twice. They don't let him.
Yeah.
Well, that's, you don't know me?
My biggest, every after party I was going to, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk up and they're going to be.
Who do you know here?
Yeah. And they're like, we don't know you. You felt that the whole.
You're wearing that sweatshirt.
Which, I got all my SNL stuff. I'm tourist carrying bag. That George Washington painting. Yeah. So so anyway, we found out Sandler's the one that actually told us. So Sandler, we go down there. So there's like me, Peyton, we all go to after party.
Yeah.
And so we're all hanging out. I mean, dude, every party it's just, you're with all of these people the whole time. And it's just everybody. I was thinking about anybody else you want to meet famous. It was like, it kind of is knocked out. Like I would like to meet Tom Cruise. Michael Jordan. Yeah. Tiger. Even though I met him, I'd like to.
You're going to play golf with him maybe and hang out with him.
Brad Pitt would be fun just because he's, so big. And then Ben Stiller was there. And I would have liked to meet him. He didn't come I didn't see him in any of the stuff, but I know he was in the audience in the SNL. And if I would have thought about it, I would have went over to try to really search him out to meet him in that moment.
Okay.
But I would have liked to meet him too. But we go over to the after party, And so it's, you're kind of hanging out with like Peyton, who the people you kind of know the most. So I'm with Peyton.
Are you boys with Peyton now?
Yeah, every time we're at stuff, like me and Peyton kind of link up and we'll go walk around.
All right. Yeah. Y'all buried the hatchet.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. I know.
You still love Peyton.
I told you he called me. Yeah. No, we talked and he's wonderful.
Yeah.
So he's very funny too, and like you can just tell jokes to him and he starts laughing. Like he gets your like comic jokes that's kind of quick side jokes. But it's me, Peyton, and Ray, like in their wives, and Laura, and we're all sitting in this upstairs, and it's walking around. So Lady Gaga, Ray Romano's like, I want to go. He's like, I want to go meet Lady Gaga, and I was like, let's just go over there and meet her. Yeah. I will go up to about anybody.
Okay, yeah.
I enjoy it because I enjoy it to like some of you just like, hey, I'm a comedian, and so you're so used to that. And then now I do that to everybody, and but now they're like, yeah, I know. And I think they know me from SNL. I don't, some would know me from, I met Eddie Murphy. He knows me from SNL. He doesn't know me as my stand up. But he knew me from SNL. And then, so we go to Lady Gaga. She's got a witch hat on. I think it's like kind of a witch hat. Yeah.
That sounds all right.
Yeah. And,
wish Dusty were there.
And so we go up and I was like, hey, nice to meet you. Very, very nice. Yeah. But she leans towards me. And I'm kind of like not leaning towards her.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm a comedian. She goes, I know. And then she leans in more and I'm still not. And she goes, I'm trying to kiss you on the cheek. And I go, oh. And I had to lean forward. And then when I look back at it, everybody that went to say hi to her, that's how, like it's the European. She's not European, but it's like how they do it in France where they kiss.
Saw you at a theater.
It's European, or you get to a certain level of fame. That's just how you start greeting each other.
Yes.
There's a little on either side of the face.
Yes.
I don't even know how to do that.
Just once.
I've never been in just once. I thought it was on either side.
No, I think that's European. I think famous is you just touch cheeks basically. I mean, you don't even really kiss them. You just touch their cheek and you do that. So, but I did not. Now looking back, I saw her do it to the three people before me.
Yeah, but you've never met her before. You don't know.
I don't know if she knows. I mean, who am I?
What if you just came in hot with a?
Yeah, yeah. So she leans, but it was just so funny to have her. It was almost like it had to break character, and she goes, "I'm trying to kiss you on the cheek," and I go, "Oh," and then I had to lean all the way in.
That's funny.
And then, then Ray met her. I was like, Ray, I'd lean in.
Yeah.
He knew to lean in then.
He knew. He's been doing this a while. Yeah.
So
Nate came in. What was?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, you're like, I don't know to shake, like, most everybody can shake everybody's hand, but you don't know to shake people's hands. You don't know what, I don't, it's all where you're like, I walk up to a situation and I'm like, I don't know if you're the vibe of everybody who's a lot of everybody's basically normal.
Yeah.
But you have some real artists.
Like her.
She's a real artist. So you have some real artists that you're like, if I didn't see Ariana Grande, but if you walked up to her, you would be like, I don't want to touch her.
Yeah. Do I curtsy? I don't even know how to like approach
it. Yeah. I mean, she's like tiny and like you would just be like, I don't know what to do.
Dress like Queen Elizabeth or something. And you're like, I don't know.
Have you ever woken up with a funky symptom, like a swollen, itchy eye, funky looking rash, or a tight pain in your neck?
Oh, yeah.
What about a persistent cold that won't go away?
Every day.
And so you Google it or search TikTok to see what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've all gone down that rabbit hole, but now it's time to get the help and care you really need with ZocDoc. ZocDoc's a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty from mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and much more. You can filter doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need you may have. You can also see their actual appointment openings, choose a time that works for you, and click to instantly book a visit. I use ZocDoc to find my doctors, and you should too. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Nate to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Nate. ZocDoc.com/Nate.
So, yeah, Snoop Dogg came out. It was fun to. Jelly Roll crushed it. Snoop Dogg came out. He comes. He's at everything.
Yeah, he and Jelly Roll.
Yeah, but Snoop Dogg's at everything for years.
Yeah.
And he always looks the same. I don't feel like you ever get a close-up shot of him though.
I could not tell you how old he is.
We're the same age.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We both look good.
Yeah.
We don't age. Me, him, Shaq.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Same
really?
age. The Rock.
Yeah.
We're all the same age.
Just yeah.
What a crew.
Yeah, that's a crew. We got to get you guys together for a picture.
Yeah,
You
would be
Snoop Dogg, Shaq, and The Rock.
Yeah. Couple guys, graduated high school in 92, 90.
Born in the 70s, graduated in the 90s.
Yeah, but when did you graduate?
1990.
Yeah, 1990.
We don't
Yeah.
get semantics, but
Yeah. Yeah, so the whole concert was great. I thought it went by pretty quick, and they were doing, the sketches. They did stuff that was very fun. It's just a fun, big night. Like, it was fun. So anyway, go to the, after.
Smart food.
Yeah. So this is Jane, what's her name? Williker, or it's with a W, Whitaker, or Wine, or what? She was in the, she's very funny. She's on SNL.
Okay.
She's a new cast member.
Yeah,
She's
Jane
called-
Whitaker.
Jane Whitaker.
Yeah.
And she was, so I walk in, and so they just gave her, I was in her dressing room, and I saw that there, and I was like, I go, is this the line I'm doing? I thought it was like the line, but that's her card from the water slide. So when I did the water slide sketch, that was her first speaking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was cool.
Mhm.
I was going to autograph it. Then I thought that might be arrogant.
What if she were like, nah?
I know. I did it.
you leave
I
me
think
to kiss
she's
her on
very
the
funny.
cheek.
Yeah. I did. I was like going to write something and sign it. Then it thought that could be.
It's a little presumptuous.
So I signed the Lay's potato chips and laid it next to it. And then
Sign the back of it.
yeah. Yeah, she wants to cover it up. But it was so it was why
Why was it in the room?
because it's her dressing room.
Like all the time dressing room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they put us all in everybody's.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't just in there for the night with the cards.
No.
Okay.
It's like her office.
You
It's her,
should've signed it.
it's her office.
I get why you didn't do it, but you should have signed it.
Yeah. It's her office. She's very sweet. The song she did when I hosted the first time, she did a song. It's a very, very funny song. And if you ever go listen to it, you just got to really listen to the whole song.
On Weekend Update?
Yeah. And she did on Weekend Update. It's so funny about staying at a party too long.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just really, really funny. And when you listen to it, it's I don't know, it's just very smart and clever. It's great. So we're hanging out in there, and this rehearsal. So we're going through. There's Peyton, John Hamm. John Hamm's a fun time too.
That's cool.
Yeah, John Hamm's a guy. I think you can meet him. Anybody can meet him, and you're gonna be like, that was the best. Talk to Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Blake Lively.
How was that?
I'm on their side.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I don't really
either.
know what it is
But,
either.
I don't know what it is
I know
either.
it's
Was he a fun guy?
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's unbelievable. He
Yeah.
talked to him. She was very nice too. I mean, they're, seem like some of the best people I've ever seen in my life. And so I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know what that other idiot's doing. He didn't talk to me. He wasn't there.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I'm
The
joking.
guy that they have
yeah.
a thing with.
I don't know
Okay.
anything about it. Like, it was oh yeah, that's where I stood up and did my line. Quinta Brunson.
Yeah.
We sat at the same table at the Golden Globes
Mm.
because she's on Abbott Elementary. and they lost, and then I cheersed, and the guy said it's just us.
Yeah.
But it wasn't her that said it.
No, it was the guy that was the producer on the show.
You're like, look, here I am again, buddy. Remember when you didn't want me to cheers with you?
Yeah.
Still around, though.
Still here. I'm always going to be here.
Been cheersing with Lady Gaga, though.
So, yeah, rehearsal was great.
She leaned in.
Then that night we did a toast. We had a toast for Lorne in the Rainbow Room. And never been up there. You've seen it always like on the sign. So the toast was very fun. Oh, that's me down there. So Wally, who holds the cue cards, he gave me a hat. So if you zoom in, you see me talking to Spielberg.
Oh yeah.
Just chatting it up.
Yeah, and I got 2 hats on. I forgot I put that because Wally just gave me his hat and I put it over the other hat, and then now I'm just talking to Spielberg and 2 hats on. Spielberg said, because he's only been on the show one time as a cameo, but his history with the show is he's been coming to it. He was at the first episode in 1975.
Wow.
So he just did Jaws, and he flew in, and he goes, and I had enough credibility that he goes, I got to sit in the last row. And he watched it with Carlin, the first episode. And then he goes to the after party and he said, John Belushi came up to him and was like, you're the one that did that shark movie, right?
Wow.
He goes, yeah. And so he said he came every Saturday for that first season.
Wow.
So he would fly from LA on Friday and come Saturday, take American Airlines flight, fly in Saturday. And then
did he have business interest in that, or was it just like the hang?
He just liked it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, because he hasn't. You would think he's like host there, and he was going to do a cameo there in the Close Encounters thing, but then I think they kind of pulled it.
I
think he wanted to sit. It was a very funny line.
See live.
Yeah, well, I watched when they do the rehearsals of the Close Encounters with Kate McKinnon. She's the funniest person ever. And so they brought him in. They go, and special guest, the director of Star Wars, Steven Spielberg. And then Steven Spielberg goes, you wouldn't believe how many people come up to me.
I'm sure.
And think I did Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you thought he would be on the show. He just been going to the show.
Just a friend of the show. Yeah.
A friend of the show, had one cameo, loves it.
It's very interesting. He went all the first season because that show was nothing.
It wasn't very good.
People just thought it was.
I have it on DVD.
I watched it. They showed the
good.
first episode Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's not good, but that was just a filler show that nobody thought would go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it would probably be fun to see live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you got to know him, everything's, that's like when you see.
Paul Simon, I think, was the second musical guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah. That was a funny line for them, Sabrina Carter. She goes, I played 1960. She goes, I wasn't born, neither were my parents.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. It might be true.
I bet the math checks out.
I mean, I'm 79. How old is Sabrina Carter? 20?
She's probably a little older than that, but yeah.
So you said you met Eddie Murphy. What was that like?
So we go to Friday night was the concert. Saturday night was we had a couple things. Tuesday it was a toast for Lorne. So it was very cool to get invited to it because it was it was a very small group that was like 100 people. But I mean, out of the people that are going there, it was not a large group that got invited to that. And so to go up there, and so I get up there, and it's like this point before we were going to dinner. So I'm walking. I'm supposed to go meet Spade for dinner, and I told him, like, Spade's like, "Are you going to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And so he picks a restaurant. Because I didn't have anything. I was like, I'll just go meet you. Then let's go to Lawrence. And then Chris Rock turned 60 this weekend. And so he was having a birthday party. So we were like, we'll go to this. I know this all sounds crazy. So just bear with me that I just am talking through it all.
You just got back from there.
I just got back from there. I know, but I don't, people listen. I'm not anybody. I don't, So, because it's about to sound crazier. And then so
Can we imagine?
I'm coming down my hotel, about to leave to go meet Spade. Steve Martin comes in. So then we start talking. I did a corporate gig with Steve Martin, and I've got to talk to him a good bit. And Martin Short's there. They're going to go eat in the restaurant. I'm like, I got to go meet Spade. They're like, well, just come. They're like, well, just come. I'll come up there with y'all for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'll just sit with y'all for a second. Yeah. I was waiting for a car to come out anyway. And so I go up, and then we sit there, and then you're just sitting there, and it's like,
just you three?
Yeah, and Steve Martin's wife.
Yeah.
So just me, Martin Short, Steve Martin, and his wife. And they were just talking it's crazy, dude, in a blocked off restaurant. And so we're talking, and I'm like, it's like where you got to go. And now I'm Spade's there, and I'm like, I got to go. And then I'm
standing up,
getting close to like trying to somehow get out of there because I just don't want to be rude to Spade. And then Conan comes in, Conan O'Brien. So then Conan comes in. So now it's just me, Conan, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and we're all just talking. And but I ended up, I was like, we hung out for a second. Then I got a great hang there, and then I went and met Spade, and he wasn't that mad at me. But I apologized very much. So I go sit with Spade, and then we go to Lawrence. We walk in, and everybody, is in there. Eddie Murphy, Chappelle. Eddie Murphy, I was like pretty pumped about because I was like, you want to go meet him.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I don't know. He's like, you don't see him. You don't, like you just hear the comics that know him, but then other people don't know him at all. So they were doing a toast, and it was like Tom Hanks gave a toast, and whoever, Seth Meyers, Tina Fey, and then Brian, a guy who worked with the NBC, gave a toast. They gave, a gift to Lauren, and it was very. Met Kristen Wiig there. Went over to meet her. I think she's so funny.
Yeah, she's great.
And so went up to Eddie. I talked to him he knew me from SNL, but did not know me as I think he knew I was a stand-up maybe from SNL, but he only knew me from the sketches. But it was very cool, very nice. Chevy Chase yelled something out during the toast.
Dude.
Yeah, it was when Tom Hanks was up there. And
what did he say?
It was just, I couldn't really understand it. But well, I think he's difficult.
I think he's a lot.
And he's a lot. And he was a lot this weekend.
Yeah, he has a history of that. As a fan of the show, my complaint about watching last night is, and I know you can't have everybody on, but he's somebody, it seems like you would have had in something.
He does not do himself favors.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that from there. They brought up, they even say, like, they all go, there wouldn't be an SNL if it wasn't for Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Because he was the star. When that show came out, he was a huge hit.
Yeah.
So people were tuning in. It seems like for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was that big of a star. And he left after 1 year.
Yeah.
So he was only there 1 year. And so I feel, but he's got this report. I think I might have told you when I shot my pilot, I mentioned him playing my dad or something in the and they were like, no, they go, absolutely not. And so I don't get to see, like, when you hear about like actors or Hollywood stuff, like people are kind of like act crazy.
Yeah.
You don't really see it, but sometimes I do want, you're like, I kind of want to see what do they mean?
Me too.
Yeah.
And I saw it this weekend.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was, so he just, Tom Hanks is talking. He does it to Tom Hanks. He just says like a side comment. We're all in this room. It's quiet, and everybody's in there has this history.
I know what he said.
These 50. It was. It didn't really matter. It was like just what he said didn't really matter. It was. It was. I don't know. Just like it wasn't. It wasn't about him.
Yeah.
It was just something like at the moment wasn't about him, and so he said something to make it about him.
Yeah.
And so he's standing there. And you're like, and he just sits in it, dude. That's the craziest part, is he'll say something and then just sit in it.
Yeah.
He doesn't, you don't like back away.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like quietly. I mean, he's tall. His head's over everybody. He says it. No one likes it. It's obvious no one likes it. And then he just sits, and then he just stays and sits in there. Yeah. And then I thought, then someone was walking up to him, and I thought maybe they're going to be like, all right, why don't you just probably head on out? They brought him a chair. He sat down. He goes, they brought him a chair. He just sat down. And he's like, maybe that was it. He was tired. Yeah. But yeah, there's like a weird, history there where, I think he's very difficult, and he can be mean, or he rubs people the wrong way and all this kind of stuff. And I know I've actually, there's comics that have met him, that know him, that have never had that experience. Mm-hmm. And they said he's very nice. So it's like one where you're just kind of outside. You're like, this is y'all's thing. I don't really know. But you did get to see it a little bit this week. I mean, because he's just going to yell something at any point. Like it's so. Saw Robert De Niro. He was there. Did not meet him. I made a business decision as he walked by. I was like, I could do it. Yeah. Because he was walking right by me. We made eye contact where I was like, I could go, hey. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have a vibe that feels like you want to.
Doesn't seem like he does. I bet he walks with an urgency.
You don't want to interrupt him. Yeah. I mean, it seems the people that knew him, he smiled and gave hugs. Yeah. And if he doesn't know you, it doesn't feel, I wouldn't say it's even being like rude. It's just, he's
is he short?
He's a little bit shorter than me, but nothing insane. Yeah. Like you wouldn't be like blown away, but how short he is. But he's, when he goes by, you're like, you just kind of let it go. You're like, all right, I don't need to, I thought it right in that moment. I was like, all right, I could meet Robert De Niro right now. Yeah. I could say hi. He's going to shake my hand because he's going to have to. Yeah. Even not that he wouldn't know me, but just because what are you going to do? But then I just thought, you go, let's just let him go.
Mm-hmm. What about Jack Nicholson?
I did not even see Jack Nicholson. I know he was not at any of the stuff, and he came to the, you can hear the fire hydrant. Yeah, a little bit. It's our fire hydrants here make noise. But he was at the show, and I know he introduced Sandler in that song, but I didn't even see him. I would have liked to seen him in person, but I don't
think he gets out much anymore.
I don't think he does either. I mean, he's older. And so he doesn't go to Laker games anymore. And but it was very nice that he was there, and I think him and Sandler are very, very close. And
that's cool.
They did a movie together.
Yeah.
Anger Management?
Yep. Anger Management, yeah. And so him and Sandler stay. It seems like they, talk to each other. And
that's cool.
A good bit. And so, yeah, I'm trying to think when I was up there, anything,
Madonna?
Oh, so then we go to Chris Rock's 60th party. And we go in there, and it's so it's everybody, again, you're just the same people. Seinfeld, like we're all hanging out. It's Chris's birthday party. And so it was very fun and cool. We're hanging out, everybody's talking, whatever. And then Madonna comes in. And so this guy, Guy O'Siri, he's her manager. And he just is like the dude, like he runs everything. So I met him. So I met him with Sacha Baron Cohen, and they were all at the Cellar one night when I went up. And he watched me, and then he was like, he just kept going crazy, and he's like, let me know when you come to LA. And so he brings over Madonna. He was like, you got to meet this guy. So I met Madonna. And she goes, what? She goes, I'm a comedian. You're like, and she goes, what? She goes, tell me your name, and I will go look you up. And I was like, oh, Nate Bargatze, I'm a comedian. And then we took a picture because they were just a professional photographer taking pictures. Yeah. I'm going to try to find that picture. I don't know how to get these pictures.
Just you and Madonna?
It's me, Madonna, and I think Guy, her manager. But it's... I'm
going to look through Getty Images here in a minute. I'll find it.
Yeah. I don't, but would it be Getty? Because it was like a private photographer.
I don't know.
Unless they were, going to do it. But it was, so she was, her and Cher, I told Cher hi. But I mean, Cher's older. I mean, it's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm. Dusty has a crush on Cher.
Oh yeah.
Well, Cher in younger albums looks amazing. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Like I had no idea. Mm-hmm. I only knew old Cher my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's not us.
Yeah.
But you know what? Is there a picture? Keep going, because I actually need something
from the Golden Globes.
Yeah. Is there one of me and The Rock?
Well, you had one that you showed us.
Matt Rife and Nikki Glaser.
There's one with me and The Rock.
There you go.
Ted. No, all right.
Look at you and The Rock.
I know there was a. Yeah, my head is God.
Well, you're next to The Rock.
It doesn't matter. It's like
It's like he's leaning.
My body goes in and it goes back out. Like I don't think you're supposed to do that. Your body's not supposed to come in and go back out. It's a sharp out. I look like the top of a house, and my head looks like a chimney. I mean, oh God, I've got to get it together. 75 hard has been hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I can tell you that. Yeah. I've not been doing it, just so everybody, but I will. I am doing it.
Starting now.
I'm starting again Wednesday.
Oh, it's you and Baby Reindeer.
Yeah, she was very nice. She's unbelievable in that.
Yeah, she's so good at them in that show.
Unbelievable. Like you just buy that she is the real person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so we go and do. Yeah, there was another one someone took. So then we're talking about. So meet Madonna, and it is crazy. You're just like. Someone that doesn't even feel like a real person.
Yeah.
So
Aaron thought she was dead.
Oh yeah.
She's been famous for like 45 years now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So then we go. So what is that? That's Saturday night, and then Sunday night is the show. So we done rehearsal. We do rehearsal again. I mean, dude, every night you're not going to bed till 4, easily till 4:00. And we go do rehearsal, then we have the show, and so everybody saw the show. The show's great, it's fun. It's and we all do that, and then we had the after party afterwards. And I mean, we got over to it very quickly, and it's I mean, it was like I think by the time we got there, it was like probably 12 or 12:30, and then it is 3:30 within 8 minutes. Like it's. Anybody, and you've been around everybody kind of all week, but they're having it's the legendary, all this, everybody's there, and it's I mean John Kerry was there. He goes, it's crazy. And so you're just all sitting, everybody's just in the room together, and they're I mean, I was like, what time is it? And it's because you're just hanging out and you're thinking maybe it's 7:30.
Yeah.
And it's 3:30.
So you didn't black out.
Huh?
You didn't black out.
No.
Okay. You said John Kerry was there and then you lost 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure nothing shady went down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John Kerry showed up. Maybe he wasn't there. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't.
It feels like a dark presence.
Yeah, guys, isn't it crazy? John Kerry was there last night. You doing all right now?
But it was. This was my dressing room, so they put us all in a dressing room. Very, very cool dressing room. It was
not a bad group.
Not a bad group. Peyton, Dave Chappelle, Ray Romano, and myself. Only me and Ray were in there. We used it. Peyton and Chappelle, we did not see them in our room. But we were hanging out. I actually got to hang out with Chappelle.
Was it the first time?
I mean, I've met him and stuff, but it was the first time I think I never even really knew he knew.
Yeah.
He would always be like, hey, what's up? Like the way he talks to comics, but there was never like any difference between me and just when I met him 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we actually talked this time, and he was very, very nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, it was very, very cool. And but it was so then we go to the after party. I think I have a couple videos. So
there's one of Sabrina Carpenter singing, I think.
Sabrina Carpenter came up, and she jumped on stage and sang, and
which is the Roots.
Yeah,
the Roots are the backing band.
Yep.
Yeah,
all right.
Cool.
So, and then
She related to the Carpenters?
You know Sabrina Carpenter?
Yeah. No. But I mean, is she like a part of the
I
Carpenter
think she
family?
is.
Like Karen Carpenter?
Probably.
Yeah.
The band, the Carpenters?
Yeah. I mean,
no.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, just
That'd have been her grandparents if it was.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think so.
I just think of the last name like Carpenter.
Yeah.
In the music
I'm sure
business.
she is. Let's
She's
just
getting asked
assume
that
she
at
is.
least.
I'd like to find this out. Yeah, she has like 3 or 4 of the biggest songs in the world right now. No.
She was born in 99. So truly her parents, if she was born in 99, her parents, if they had her at...
If they had her at 20, they'd have been born in 79.
Yeah. So even like if they were born in 77, they were 23.
Yeah.
So very easily.
Yeah. She is the niece of the voice of Bart Simpson.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
So, yeah, she got up and sang Brandi Carlile, who I sat in front of, or she sat in front of me at...
she's unreal, dude.
She's unreal.
Yeah.
She really got this party started. So, everybody was like hanging out talking, and then they have it in there where everybody's going to go and play, and it wasn't really playing. They were like, Questlove was DJing, and then everybody's going in there. It was like, all right. And then Busta Rhymes got up there, and so you're like, oh, here we go. And then I'll be honest with you, he talked for quite a while. He just started talking, and everybody's like,
all right,
all right. Yeah. And then, he did like one little. I played. I don't know if he did one little song, but really did not do. And then she got up and sang this, and this like got it rolling. Mm-hmm. And so this was when I forget what she sang, but it was it was like awesome. She's unbelievable. She was very, very nice. And that was it. And we were trying to leave and met Emma Stone, which I was excited about.
Oh yeah,
she's she's very cool.
Yeah,
she seems cool.
She seems like a normal. Yeah,
seems like a normal person, and she definitely was. She had a dress that had like these pockets that were built in, and when she showed up at SNL, she had popcorn poured in.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw a picture of that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then but she was awesome, and
that's kind of your thing with the hoodie.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that's the next step.
Yeah. This would have been your I'm sure I'm missing some people.
I was told to ask about the singer in the restaurant.
Oh yeah. I have a video of that. We're going at the restaurant we're eating at. Look at this guy. So he's singing quietly. So if you can't hear, the funniest thing is that restaurant's where I was eating with Martin Short and them, and we walk back there and no one's back there, and Martin Short, he goes, hey, I just have one question. He goes, this is not going to be in use tonight. And they go, no. And he goes, thank you. Which is very funny because, you see a piano, you're like, I don't want this piano playing.
Yeah.
And he was like joking about it, but he was like, yeah, no one wants a piano. But this guy, this is brunch. And he sings. And I just thought it was impressive. I actually liked it. He kind of sings like kind of back and quiet. Like it was quieter than a radio.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as invasive. Is that the word? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah. Intrusive too.
Intrusive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And invasive. Either works.
I would say intrusive is probably more appropriate. Mm-hmm. Isn't invasive a surgery?
Yeah. Intrusive is better.
But they invade.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the comic Kellen Erskine.
He does a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
All right. I like that he's like makes a face, he leans back. It's like the whole point of it is, I'd imagine when he tried out
Ray Charles thing's going.
Yeah. When he tried out for this gig, they go, we want no noise.
Yeah.
And you could have it was better than if you had music playing on this guy, I was very impressed. Because it was nice to have some kind of, you have music and at first you're like, oh my God. Because everywhere is so loud.
It's crazy how loud it is.
Yeah.
Places. Yeah. Do you want? I guess you don't want us to talk.
No. I think they want people to leave.
Yeah.
I think they don't want you to talk.
Every store just wants you to leave. The restaurant wants you to leave. Nobody wants you in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't even want you to buy. It's just a storefront for you to buy online later.
Was Dana Carvey there?
He was not.
I mean, he's one of my all-time favorites, and I don't think they showed him. Well, I mean, they showed
the church lady.
Yeah, they did, but he wasn't in. Anything.
I don't think I don't think he just couldn't make it. I think he was invited and supposed to come. Yeah, and he couldn't make it. It was a lot of that. Like not everybody can make it there, and and they did the 40th 10 years ago. So
yeah.
But it's interesting because it's like that was the 50th. Lauren's coming back, and it's you're like, all right, what are you going to do? Like, this was a kind of a big blowout. I mean, you can't be like 56 or something. And Lauren wants to, dude, he wants to work. I mean, that guy is up. Like, I left before him, and I got back to the hotel at 4. I think he's 82.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
But I got back at 4 a.m. And, today was like, we had to get up at 9. I didn't go to sleep till like, I probably fell asleep at like 5 something, 9. I mean, it's just.
What a crazy weekend, dude.
But yeah, I know it was just a lot of me talking about this weekend.
No, I wanted to hear about it. I didn't even know you were at this thing. I'm watching it with Lucy. All of a sudden, you just stand up. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, hey, this guy's everywhere.
Yeah, Laura was texting Lucy Lucy loves all the SNL stuff.
This is what got her into comedy. It was Amy. Yeah. I mean, she got emotional watching you talk to Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. Yeah, I mean, we have little like dolls of them at our house from when she was in high school.
Yeah.
And then you're talking to her. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it was, I mean, look, to get to be any part of the show is unbelievable. And that's why I was invited to all this stuff. And it's like where you do go, you just kind of like in a little bit like you're there, but then you're also trying not to be because you're like, this is a history of people have 30 years with this show and 20 years and all this.
Well, that's the way to be. You don't want to come in and the opposite is like, golly.
Oh yeah,
that guy Nate's a nightmare, dude.
Made
he only hosted this twice.
He hosted twice, and he thinks. I go. When was the last time Meryl Streep's been here? That was the first time she's ever been there.
Really?
Yeah.
I would assume she hosted it 15 times.
No, I don't like that.
Huh?
I don't like that.
Why?
Because she gets to be in a sketch and. She's never even been on the show where again, some of these favorites of mine that didn't get to do one.
Yeah. Like who didn't get to do one?
Well, he wasn't there. Dana Carvey, Chevy Chase.
Again, Chevy does not
Murray?
do. Bill Murray did a sketch.
Bill Murray did a thing.
Bill Murray was there.
He was on Weekend
He shouted
Update.
out Chevy Chase too.
Yeah.
And
was Jane Curtin there?
Who?
Is it Chevy Chase or Chevy Chase?
I would say Chevy.
Okay.
Jane Curtin.
Mr. Chase.
Jane Curtin. I
She
don't
was one of the original.
Yeah.
Coneheads.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They did a SNL leading up to it. Did a bracket where people got to vote on all-time greatest character.
Mm-hmm.
And
George Washington won.
No, but there was some on there that when it first started that you could argue, should be on there before that one. And I'm drawing a blank on Bill Hader's character. Stefan won.
Won the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's some recency bias there.
Oh, for sure.
I think he beat out Chris Farley's Man Down by the River.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he only did that
Mick
once.
Foley, yeah.
Stefan came back a lot.
Stefan wasn't a lot. He did more than once, but wasn't a lot. But yeah, there's so many iconic, Wayne's World and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this weekend about this show is like, because when they go back and show highlights of it and all this stuff, it tends to be that era of those guys. Like
I saw a documentary on SNL, and one of the producers said everyone's favorite cast is the one from your junior year of high school or junior high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when you're most into that type of humor.
I guess so. I mean, it was the David Spade, Chris Farley, Mike Myers, Phil Hartman era for me that I love.
But I mean, don't you think is there a lot of reoccurring characters now as there were back then? I mean, Domingo I guess, that Domingo thing is kind of came back. I mean, I've done Washington twice now.
Yeah.
But is
3 times basically.
Yeah. But it's so I wonder, it's like when you would see, I don't know, it was when even when I was watching the highlights, they really show it's heavy from one kind of big eras, like the Tina Fey, Will Ferrell, Spade, Sandler, like all in that kind of chunk is Kristen Wiig, Sudeikis, and but yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a show that there's no show like it. TV needs a show that's been on forever, and
it's an American institution.
Yeah,
it really is,
and it's about the only place developing
the last.
Shut up.
What is it?
Yeah, cross section.
It's the last great American entertainment institution.
No, intersection of
cross section
of America.
Yeah. It's definitely not that.
Who do you think is the most famous person to ever come out of SNL?
Sandler?
Yeah, Adam Sandler, I think.
I might say Eddie Murphy.
Mike Myers is Mike Myers too with Shrek and Austin Powers. I mean, Shrek alone is
he is. He's up there.
Could be Eddie Murphy.
I don't think he gets recognized as Shrek though. I know that he is Shrek, but you know what I mean? It's not
Wayne's World, Austin Powers.
But Eddie Murphy was in Shrek.
And Glorious Bastards. He's in that first scene.
I mean, Chevy Chase was pretty big back in the day.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, Eddie. I mean, it could be Eddie Murphy or Sandler.
Mm-hmm.
I would think Sandler is just he was there longer, more associated with it, and he is enormous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
David Spade too, though. I mean, he's had many TV shows, been around, been lots of. I mean, I guess he's in all the Sandler movies, but
well, there's so many. Will Ferrell. I mean, there's just a ton of.
Yeah, I forgot about Will Ferrell. Yeah, there's a lot. Very cool that you were even at this thing, let alone a part of it. So,
cool. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So, all right.
Well, this weekend, I'm going to be in Mars Hill, North Carolina. It's very similar to what you just went through. I'm sure.
Yeah. It goes, good night. Easy to drive tour.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from that, but I am driving there, so you are correct. Then March 7th, Bozeman, Montana.
All right.
Oh, nice. Last Best
Comedy Club.
That's all. You're going to love it.
March 12th, I got my Knicks, Brian Bates, and friends here at Zany's. And then that weekend, whatever that is, the 14th, 15th, I think, off Cabot Comedy Club in Beverly, Massachusetts, just outside Boston.
Beverly.
Yeah. First time I've ever done stand-up in...
Wait, when is that? March?
I think March 14, 15 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the same weekend I'm in Boston. That would stink.
Yeah.
But this weekend, Aaron Weber here at Tacoma, Washington, at Tacoma Comedy Club. 5 shows. One of them sold out already. So get tickets, coming to one of those. And then Sunday, Spokane, Washington, at the Spokane Comedy Club. So a little Washington run. Come see me on the West Coast. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got 4 shows before I record my special. I have this weekend, Boise, Idaho. I think it's already sold out, but try to get some tickets. Saturday, Salt Lake City, Utah. And then I have Tuesday the 25th, I'm at the Villages in Florida. And then the 26th, I'm here at Zany's. And then the 28th, 2 shows, filming my special.
Love it.
So it's going to be in Chattanooga.
It's going to be
Walker Theater.
It's going to be
hot. And the cruise, I believe the cruise might be sold out if it's not.
That's what I heard.
Boom.
But it's and so get on that. We still have more stuff. We'll start announcing. Still got some people on the shows that we're going to we haven't announced yet, and then there's I think some of the games are they're just kind of a little bit slowly play out like what you're going to be seeing at the Nateland cruise. But yeah, can't wait for that. All right. Well, happy
President's Day.
Happy President's Day. George Washington.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You've done a lot for this country.
Mm-hmm.
Happy. Yeah. All right. We love you. See you. Bye. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.